Hello everybody! Just recently, I had a friend of mine who helps part-time with the channel come up with some skiing trivia questions to test my knowledge. In just a minute, I'll play back for you the audio of him quizzing me, and you guys can be the judge of whether or not I really am an expert on the skiing industry. Before we begin, however, please note that there are a ton of inaccuracies in this video, because at the end of the day, it was simply a pair of friends playing a little trivia game. And additionally, I wasn't really sure what to do with the visual part of this while still protecting our privacy, so here's some random footage from me skiing at Sun Valley. With that out of the way, let's jump straight into some impossible ski resort trivia.
Okay, so I have 4 categories here. The first category is ski lifts, then we go to ski resorts, then ski history, then ski runs, and then an extra special bonus question at the end. So, let's just jump in, shall we?
Yeah.
So, what was the first high-speed quad in the US?
Oh, ski lifts. This is my specialty. The first high-speed quad in the US, actually in the world, was the Quicksilver Superchair at Breckenridge, was built in 1981.
Yeah, excellent. A lot more detail than I was expecting, so that's great. What is the fastest 8-person chairlift in the US?
Well, as of now, I believe there's only 2 8-packs in the US. There's a couple more being built over this summer, but right now I think it's just Ramcharger 8 and Jordan 8. Of those 2, I think Ramcharger's longer, but Sunday River is preparing for a big expansion over on that side, so I'd say it's probably Jordan 8.
That's correct. Yeah, Jordan 8 in Sunday River, Maine. Okay, now we're moving on to our ski resorts category. So, what ski resort is visited the most in the US?
I would think it would have to be one of those Vail resorts. My candidates are probably Vail, Breckenridge, Park City. You said in the United States?
In the US, yeah.
So I can't count Whistler. Could also be some rando on the East Coast like Killington. I'm gonna go with Park City though.
So you were actually really close, but the most visited ski resort in the US is actually Vail Resorts.
That makes sense. Although that is kind of interesting because the time I was at Park City, it was not near as busy as the time I was at Park City, it was way busier than all the times I've been to Vail. Vail was not near as busy as Park City.
Interesting. What is the longest ski run in the world?
The longest ski run in the world? You know, I honestly have no idea unless it's something here in North America, so I'd probably say, because this is the only thing I can think of, Last Spike at Revelstoke.
Yes, this was a little bit of a stumper, but the correct answer is actually Vallée Blanche in France.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've definitely heard of the Vallée Blanche. I know it's really famous. Never have gotten to ski it myself, but eventually I will.
So while we're talking about Europe, can you name a ski resort that spans Switzerland and Italy? And this question has multiple correct answers.
Ooh, that's going to be a resort that I've never skied before. I don't really focus on Europe that much. I think Cervina might be.
Yeah, so that's correct. That's one of the options. So excellent job on that. The other one is Matterhorn Ski Paradise. What is the world's largest ski resort?
Les Trois Vallées. Yeah, I love Les Trois Vallées. For me, it's I love huge ski resorts where it's just there's always something new to explore. Trois Vallées is made up of 7 individual ski resorts that are all interlinked. You know, you can ski between all of them on one pass. The 2 most famous of those ski resorts are Val Thorens and Courchevel. You've probably heard of one of those at some point. But over 600 kilometers of piste between those 7, which is just absolutely absurd.
That's awesome. I'd love to ski there one day. Our last question in this category is, what is the most expensive lift ticket?
I know last season the most expensive lift ticket was down in Arizona at Arizona Snow Bowl, because Arizona Snow Bowl is one of the only ski resorts in Arizona, and there's a large population down there. and they were the only ones to exceed $300 last year. So that would lead me to believe that they've got to be the most expensive again this year.
Yeah, so that's a great guess. Actually, it was Homewood in Tahoe.
That makes sense. Homewood's trying to move towards that private model, become kind of the Yellowstone Club of Lake Tahoe. We'll see if they're successful at it, but that definitely makes sense that that's the most expensive.
So our next category is ski history. So when was the first ski lift built?
You know, I know the first chairlift was built in 1936. I have no idea when the first ski lift was built. As far as rope tows, drag lifts, what counts. I know there has been talk of like aerial tramways being used in mining well before the 20th century, and there's photos of it, but people haven't been able to date those photos. I'll go pretty shortly before those chairlifts, though. I'll say 1930.
So yeah, that's a great guess. The first ski lift was actually built in 1908. So quite a long time ago. Pretty crazy. Where did the first group of people that were known to ski come from? And this question, I'm kind of looking for a region of the world.
I mean, just thinking about the oldest ski areas in the US and like the first people who brought skiing over here, I think were all Norse, Swedes, Finns. So I would have to say Scandinavia is my only guess.
Scandinavia is correct, and it goes way back there. It's a huge part of their culture. Okay. What was the first ski jump in Colorado?
First ski jump in Colorado, that's right, in downtown Steamboat Springs at Howelson Hill.
Yes, that's correct. And for a bonus point, when was it built?
I have no idea. I'll just pick a year and say 1923.
Yeah, so that's actually really close. It was actually built in 1914. So, great job on that. My last question in this category is, when was the first time alpine skiing was part of the Olympics?
I would have to think that it would be after World War II when, the 10th Mountain Division kind of, I wouldn't say popularized, but brought attention to skiing. So I'll pick a random year after. I'm not trying to do math right now on what years would have been Winter Olympics, and say 1958.
Yeah, so that's pretty close. It was actually 1936, but it wasn't really popular until a little bit later, probably more close to the date that you're talking about.
That's interesting that it was before the war, though. I really thought it would be after.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a while ago. Okay, so our last category is ski runs. So, do you know what the longest ski run in North America is?
Okay, in North America, that's gotta be Last Spike at Revelstoke.
Yeah, that's definitely right. As a bonus point, do you know how long it was? And I'll accept this in miles or kilometers.
I think it's like 16... Oh, I don't know if that's kilometers or miles, though. I'll say 16 kilometers.
Yeah, super close. I'll take that as a point. It's 15.2 kilometers. So, great job. And the last question, and this can be a little bit complicated to answer, but what is the steepest ski run in the world?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on what metric you're using and how you're measuring it, because I don't know if you're counting like the Big Couloir and Corbet's, obviously, and the KT22 stuff. I know the steepest, what a lot of people consider to be the steepest inbounds cut run in North America, at least, is Rambo at Crested Butte. So just thinking about all the publications that have been like, oh, Rambo, I would say probably Rambo.
Yeah, so that's a great guess. According to my source, the steepest ski run in the world is Kandahar. And forgive my pronunciation of this next part, in Garmisch-Partenkirchen, Germany.
Yeah, I know. I've definitely heard of the Kandahar before. I'm pretty sure there was a pretty popular video of somebody skiing it in the dark in the past couple months. Maybe it was Michaela Schifrin skiing it in the dark. And that was like a big deal because everybody was like, oh, this is like the hardest racing piste in the world. So I'm wondering if that's what it is. It's actually the steepest racing piste, or it might be the steepest cut piste in the world. But my thought is definitely that a run like Corbett's or Big Couloir is steeper.
Yeah, this one is definitely used for racing, but still a lot steeper than I would want to go down.
Yeah, absolutely.
And our last question is a bonus question for all of you ski racing fans out there. So, what is the world record for the fastest skiing in miles per hour or kilometers per hour for men and women?
I mean, I would have to think that it's going to be somewhere right around the threshold of 100 miles per hour. So I'll say 106 miles per hour for men and 98 for women.
Yeah, so that's a great guess. The world record for men is 158 miles per hour or 255 kilometers per hour, and the fastest for women is 153 miles per hour, and 247 kilometers per hour. So definitely pretty fast out there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, but I value my life, so I will not be sliding down the hill on two pieces of wood going that fast ever. You will never catch me doing that, but I admire the people who have the guts to do something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's rocket fast.
All right, well, I think that about wraps it up for your questions. I thought I did all right. How did you think I did?
Yeah, you had a really impressive performance. I mean, I put some really difficult questions on here that you totally nailed, so I'm really impressed. Great job.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of just random ski facts rattling around in my head, and I think I was able to put a couple of those to good use. I was particularly proud of my little last spike revelation there. But yeah, thank you for writing up those questions for me. It was good having this little talk. And anything else you want to say to the viewers?
Yeah, I'll see you on the hill.
Well, there you have it. Go down below and let me know how you think I did. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you so much for watching. Have a great season, everyone. All my love, I'm out.